Yellow has been released.
Yay!
Woo! And I think at this point everyone's got it. Everyone's had a chance to listen to it.
Hopefully.
And yeah, so let's just talk about it.
All right. So it's the seventh album.
Wow, that's a ton.
Yeah, and it doesn't include the like best offs, like
Mm-hmm.
the Encore show and Scandal show are not included.
Yep.
So it's the seventh album. But what I really think it stands out in this one is the all the songs in the album are composed, both lyrics and music, by the band members.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's like a huge. It's really what you should strive for when you're in a band.
Yeah.
It always starts out. I mean, at least bands that are like that have that fire or that they're popular. It always starts out with other people create the lyrics. That other people that are professional at it
Mm-hmm.
create the lyrics or create the songs, and then the band will just play them.
Mm.
That kind of it does. It's like it's not really your song, right? If someone else made it and you're just playing it, it kind of feels like it's not really your song.
Yeah.
So I think with this album, what they really try to accomplish is that it's just basically they've grown to the point where they they hold all the power, right? They've made all the lyrics, all their songs. These are actually their songs.
It seems like they've been working towards that way for a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
they started out and they just got to write like a couple B-sides here and there.
Mm.
And then the last album, it seemed like it was a mix. Like, there was some stuff that they had done, but it wasn't the whole album.
Yeah.
And this time is first time the whole album is completely their creation from the start to the finish.
Yeah, exactly. So, last album in Hello World, they had some songs where they had a big part. We consider them their songs, right? Like Tomomi's Can Beer, Mami, Honwoyo, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they're like, or Rina Oyasumi, it's like songs that they have a special place. It's like each of the members is like they hold a spotlight for that song.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of had that last album, but this one is like, everybody got to participate on some of the songs. They did some of them together, some of them just like, for example, Rina did just the lyrics, Mami did the music.
Yep.
And some of them it's the whole band together making the song. So I think that definitely adds up something new that we hadn't seen before. So might definitely put off some people that just they'll prefer the band to play the same style or at least more like their old selves. Play
Well,
more.
it's sort of a thing that like all bands run into is that like you have to like change and you have to like grow as a band. Otherwise, even though people always say like, oh, I wish they just played like the old style. We've already heard the old style. Like if they just kept releasing album after album exactly the same, people wouldn't actually enjoy that. So
Yeah.
they have to sort of grow but not like lose the style that they had.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. It becomes, I think, stale if everything is the same. A lot of bands usually, for example, the name that comes up right now is Flip.
Mm-hmm.
They basically happen the same way. They played the same style for basically a good part of like 8 years or 9 years.
Yeah.
So their songs were in the same area, and a couple off songs here and there that were good, but were completely different. Like just different, yeah.
Yeah.
And but in the end, the last year, it was like not like a cry for help, but like they just went completely off the mark and they did like a full pop album
Uh-huh.
or like a mini album. It's like it's like eventually it hits a point where if they play the same style, the band themselves will be like, okay, you know what, we can't do this anymore.
We
Like,
did
need to
this
have some-
already. Like
yeah, we need to have some creative, freedom to make their own stuff or just change styles but maybe, maybe they tried it in the past and the people that were buying their CDs didn't like it. So they were like, you know what, that didn't work out. Even if it was the best for the band, for a band that's like a smaller level, they might have to stick with the plan to, keep doing music as their job, right? But Scandal's kind of established themselves it's in a really good spot right now. It keeps growing like insane. If you think back of Scandal, a few years back, it's just like the growth has been insane. And at this point, I think they're in a good spot to branch out and try new stuff. And that new stuff happens to be really good. At least in my opinion, the album is very good. We have some songs that we've seen before in the singles, but what do you think of the album itself?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that, to me, like, the rhythms and the tones of the song sounded a lot more complex than the previous albums. Like, compared to some of the previous stuff that was more produced, like, the produced stuff would have, like, a lot of layers, but it would be, like, a lot of other instruments and stuff, like a synth track, and stuff like that. Whereas this album, it was pretty much entirely just their instruments.
Yeah.
But at the same time, which was a little simpler in some ways than the more produced tracks they used to do. But the rhythms and like the tones and the sounds and flourishes on everything, to me, sounded like a lot more complex than they used to be.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think this is the first time that they've opened an album with an intro track, right?
Yeah, and it's instrumental only, so that's also the first time.
I thought it was a pretty good way to open up the beginning of the thing. Like, it's a real like a real rockin' song to like get things started.
Yeah, it reminds me of like when you get in your car and you put the key on and you turn on the car, you get that right,
like that
first
rev
thing
at the beginning.
Yeah, and that's how I kind of feel that song. Basically, it's the same thing. You just kickstart it.
The startup for the album.
It's a really good way to start, and then it just goes like smooth from there. So I think it's a really great song. The instrumental, the fact that it's an instrumental, it's kind of shocking. No vocals except one scream at the end.
Yeah, I really like how the guitar sounds on that one. Like the way the notes are like bent during the thing. It's not just like straight up. Like there's all these little touches that they added that really add a lot of depth to it, even though it's just like an instrumental introduction piece.
Yeah. All right. The second song, Stamp.
Stamp was one of the ones that probably everyone's heard because it was a single already. But one of the things that stuck out to me about Stamp was seeing it during the Perfect World tour at Budokan. Like before seeing it live, I thought it was a pretty good song, but I didn't really like get the energy that they were necessarily trying to get across with it until I saw it live. And like in my opinion, that was one of the songs that they played with the most like enthusiasm at the actual show. And that sort of like changed the song for me, like made it a lot more interesting, and sort of like I see what they're going for a lot more now, having seen it live compared to just the single that was released before with the music video.
Yeah, seriously, when Scandal plays their stuff live, it just feels like it almost like the song actually comes to life, right? In the album or in the single, it's just you just listen to it and you're like, okay, this is pretty good, or I'm not feeling it, or sometimes the song takes a while to grow on you.
Yep.
So that happened to me with Stamp. At first, it's a little weird because it's a different style, and the music video was also different. So it's just a little bit of a new style. So I was like, okay, it took some time to get used to that. Give it a couple listens until it fits right, until it feels right, and then it just grows on you. But then once you see it live or you hear it live, it just completely changes the way of the game, basically.
Yeah.
And jumping a couple of tracks, the same happened to me for Sisters.
Yeah.
I just didn't put, I didn't think Sisters would be like such a jam, basically. But when it came on, at the Perfect World Arena in Budokan. It was
Hmm.
just insane.
Yeah, that one for me, it was like the music video and like all the fans that got to be in it and stuff really
Mm-hmm.
like pumped up that song for me.
Oh, yeah, yeah, you're right. All right, let's backtrack a little bit. We went over to Sisters, which is another single, so everybody
Mm.
should already have listened to that. So we're back to Love Me Do.
Mm. So this was like the one because it had the tie-in with those like gummies or whatever. This
Mm-hmm.
one, to at least to me, seems like the most promoted song of the album right now, at
Yeah.
least.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the music video was pretty good. It seemed like the first time we've really seen the band doing like acting roles.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a little bit before with like Namida no Regret and stuff, but uh, not as much as this one, which was interesting to see.
Yeah, it was really good actually. I really enjoyed the video. It was different, something we
Mm,
hadn't seen before. A lot of
yeah.
people jealous of the guy, I suppose, which is you know, something that just happens.
Hmm.
It's just acting, guys. It's cool. But yeah, the video itself was you know what? Something I noticed on the video was really nice when Rina goes to grab the book and the other guy also like grabs the same book.
Uh-huh.
There's like a if you pause it right there, you'll be able to see like books that are I don't know if I'm thinking too much into it, but you let me know.
Yeah.
There's books that are like related to the world tour or to places that they visited.
Hmm.
For example, the book on there's one book that's in German for
Mm.
they went to Germany. There's one that's Hawaii and its people.
Huh.
So
That
they've been
seems
to Hawaii
pretty coincidental. I mean,
and they're
how?
you know
Yeah.
it can't be just a coincidence.
A lot of times people in videos and stuff like or in movies and stuff, there's a lot of little details like that put in on purpose.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's what
That's pretty interesting.
when I saw the video that was uploaded on like really good quality.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I noticed all those stuff, all those small
Mm.
details, and yeah, that was one of the things that I didn't realize the first time I saw it,
Mm-hmm.
but watching it again, that kind of stood out. The Hawaii book, especially because they're gonna play Hawaii down in May,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I really like this song. It's a different style too, slower or like a more I guess romantic song.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I like the way the vocals like pitch up at the end of all the lines. It like gets stuck in my head all the time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's see. The next track is Morning Sun. So this was already released as an individual song because it's the soundtrack for or theme song for that cat movie.
Oh yeah.
So
Huh.
that was
I
it's
hadn't
already been
heard that one
released.
before the album. But
Oh, okay, yeah, I had.
hmm.
I still like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have any special feelings
Mm.
towards it. It's decent, or I mean,
Yeah.
it's good. It's just not personally my style, or it's not my favorite off the album.
Yeah,
It's
some
just,
of the
it's
ones
just
like the album's so new, it still takes some time for the songs to like sink in or grow on you a little bit.
yeah. It's like if I listen to it, it can it'll pass by.
Mm-hmm.
I won't repeat it or anything like that.
Mm. Yeah.
And and really the only thing that it reminds me is like I don't know. It kind of just takes me back. The song. It's just like I just close my eyes and it's like it takes me back to just like stuff that's happened in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just all the
Mm.
people that like all my friends or stuff like that. People, family from before, like
Uh-huh.
little things. It just reminds me of I don't know. I
Mm.
just go back in my head and some stuff like that. I don't really know
That's
how to
cool.
describe it, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's just stuff like that.
Sweet.
That's basically it. What
So
did you?
Sunday Drive.
Oh, Sunday Drive. All right.
This one seems like it's like really inspired by them personally, especially because they're talking so much on the blog and stuff about like getting their license and buying a car and things like that.
Mm.
Like this one, I feel like they're I mean, who knows really in the end, but like they weren't just like, oh, we should make a song about driving. Like, They're
Yeah,
they're actually like going on road trips and stuff probably.
yeah. And the song starts with that little bass,
Mm.
and that immediately makes me think of like I'm walking on sunshine.
Mm.
It's just like as soon as I hear that, it's like, oh, okay, here's the here comes the jam.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I like this song a lot. I don't know, it's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really feel like I like the song. I can relate to the driving part.
Mm-hmm.
I just picture like a car with the roof down, like the hair is going wild while people are driving. I don't know, kind of like a movie kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It has the title too, so I don't know, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I just play that, and when someone else is driving and you're just tired and you just fall asleep in the car, I feel like this song would be like the perfect for that.
Yeah. Sweet.
All right, now it's the pizza party song.
This one surprised me. Like, I mean, this song is like so chipper and like upbeat, it's ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
and not counting the singles that had come out a while ago, this is the most played song on my playlist from the album so far. Because like, I don't know, it's just like so upbeat.
It just makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And it's like the lyrics are so simple that
Mm.
there's really no double meaning, right? It's
Mm.
just you want to get a pizza, let's get pepperoni and a Coke. That
Mm.
you can't put, you can't say like, "Oh, what did Tomomi mean in this line?" No, it's just let's get pizza and let's celebrate because, pizza is awesome and
Yeah.
let's have a pizza party, right?
Yeah, I think
So,
this
yeah.
was I think this is the first song that Rena has used a double bass pedal on the actual recording. Like she's had the double bass set up live for a little while now
Mhm.
and like uses it like after the song is over, and everyone's just like jamming a bit. But I think this
Mm.
is the first song that's had double bass like in it, which is kind of interesting.
Well, I would have no idea about that. Yeah, I can't recognize stuff like that when I'm.
It's not a ton. I mean, it's not like a metal track or something, but a
Well,
little
but
bit.
you play drums, so you kind of get that.
Mm.
So yeah, that makes sense. Okay, seventh is Heaven na Kibun, a heavenly feeling.
This one really surprised me. Like, I don't know what I expected from this song because, like, of course, like, from like Scandal Heaven, if they use the word
Right.
heaven in a track, like, you're gonna like latch on to that. And so I sort of thought it might be like, I don't know, some sort of like light, like heavenly feeling thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
it's like the opposite. It's like
Yeah.
a sort of dark tone to it,
Mm.
which was, I don't know what I was expecting, but it was completely different. But I really like it. Like it's really different in an interesting way.
Yeah, as soon as you play that song, you hear the grunge,
Mm-hmm.
and it immediately reminds me of like Nirvana stuff like that.
Mm.
And usually Nirvana is like associated with like sad or depressing stuff or really deep emotional stuff.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that's the same here. I haven't really looked into the lyrics too much, but
Mm.
just on the title is like a heavenly feeling. It's something that's like you can't really put into words or something that's like greater than the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really count something that's like as big as that, or just something that just fills you up completely. I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I really want to hear this live, really really bad.
Mm. Yeah, that'd be a great live song.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be insane. All right, now is Sookie Sookie.
This one was like probably the easiest to get into of the album. Like this is the one where you hear it for like 5 seconds and you're like, yes, like that's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know if okay, I'll try to describe it as best as I can. I really don't know how to say this,
Uh-huh.
but I feel like this song is like an upgrade or like a better version of what Stamp wanted to accomplish.
Uh-huh.
in my opinion, it's like if I had to choose, you know, like on YouTube when when it gives you like the next video, it's like, okay, this is what's
Mm.
gonna play next, and it gave
Yeah.
me two choices between Stamp and Sookie Sookie. I would pick Sookie Sookie every time.
Mm.
I think they're the same, you know, same style maybe. I don't even know if
Yeah,
they
there's
are,
some
but they sound,
similarities.
yeah, there's something there that is just, you know, there.
Ski Ski is more like it's a little more like driven though. I think it's probably faster. I don't know what the tempo offhand, but it's got a bit more energy than Stamp.
Yeah. And this one, the one that really stood out for me was the drums.
Mm.
In this one, I really thought the drums were really out there.
Uh-huh.
Most of the time, it's the, you know, it doesn't really, I wouldn't really put the drums as the number one thing, like number one part of the song.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the guitar riffs or how the bass leads you through
Mm.
the rhythm. But in this one, I feel like the drums are like top notch.
Mm. A lot of the songs on this album, I was noticing the drums are like serving the song very well.
Mm.
Like a lot of times with drums, like you can't play too technical at times, you know what I mean? Like sometimes the song calls for a particular thing, even if it's not like the most technical or skillful
Mm.
thing to do. You have to
Right.
do what's right for the song. And a lot of the rhythms are fairly complicated compared to the previous stuff, but they're also like really serving the song very well, which, you know, is going to make them not like jump out to the forefront quite so hard.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I agree. All right. Next one.
So next up is Love. These, like, for me at least, these later tracks on the album are sort of ones that like I don't know, you could put them on and almost just like relax or something. Like they're
Yeah.
softer, you know, less intense. So to me, at least so far, only having listened to the album a few times through, like these ones at the end, like Love and Happy Birthday and stuff like that, are like sort of just chill songs to just like
Mm.
relax a bit.
Yeah. Well, Love is my personal favorite song of this album.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know, just reggae is. I just really like reggae, and
There you go.
I did not expect a reggae song to come out of Scandal.
Uh-huh.
When I heard the preview, I was like, I can't. I seriously could not wait to hear the whole thing. It was
Mm.
just ridiculous how badly I wanted to hear the whole thing. Now that I have the CD, it's absolutely exceeded all the expectations I had,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Nice.
crazy. And actually, I think the with the pizza party that Scandal was having, that they talk about the album and all the songs.
Uh-huh.
They said that Tomomi wrote the song in a more positive way because all her
Mm.
previous love songs had been like bad things, you know, about
Like breakup
her
songs
having
and
her,
stuff.
yeah, her heart broken.
Yeah.
So that's why I think the fact that they make it more positive and it's a reggae song kind of just,
Mm.
you know, it's the perfect mixture.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love that. I think this is my favorite. Well, it's my favorite song. You know,
Nice.
there's nothing anybody can do about that. I think this is one of the best in the album. That my
Mhm.
personal,
Mm.
yeah,
Gonna have to give it some more listens.
yeah, definitely, man. That song is just, and this is gonna be, you know, easily one of the played at the Hawaii lives. You
Yeah,
know?
that's true. I can see that
That is just gonna
for
be.
sure.
You know, I wish that we could hear Heaven Nakibun in Hawaii, but Love is definitely going to be up there. I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, we already talked a little bit about Sisters, but
Mm.
one thing I want to add is like sometimes I just go back to the album and instead of playing it from the beginning, I'll just play Love again because I like it so much.
Uh-huh.
And it sometimes I won't even notice the song has ended until it's halfway through Sisters.
Yeah, you do
So I
get
feel
that
like,
like bleed through effect where the
yeah,
song after your favorite song, you end up accidentally playing a ton.
yeah. And I mean, it's not a bad thing. I like
Yep.
Sisters. And I think they just, like you said, they're both, it's just after Love, it's just like a relax. You just take a trip.
Hmm.
And I feel like the songs mesh in perfectly. Love, then Sisters, then Happy Birthday.
Yeah, like
And
that whole block of the album, and then
yeah,
even with Chisano Hono, like it gets even like more chill or
even more
sentimental at
mellow.
the end.
Yeah. And then they kick it up with your song and just kind of wakes you up. It's like, whoa, what happened here?
Mm.
Get that jump.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like a lot of albums either end with like a sentimental song or like a
Mm.
real high energy song.
Yeah.
And at least for me, like your song is like a super, like I don't know if I'm just remembering all the lives because that's a great song live to get the crowd in and
Yeah.
everything. But like I don't know, you just hear that and there's like so much energy in it. What
Yeah,
did you think of
especially,
the English version?
well, the English part I could do without.
Really?
I didn't think it was necessary for them to remake the song.
Uh-huh.
I personally prefer the Japanese version.
Hmm.
It's
Fortunately,
just,
they've given us both.
I mean, yeah, you can have both, and I appreciate the effort basically from the
Mm.
band to translate, and yeah, I'm sure
I
it was
thought their
hard to
English
find
was really good. Like, there's no grammar mistakes,
the thing. That's
and their
that's something that,
pronunciation is like really good. I mean, sometimes there's like Japanese artists doing English tracks, and like, of course, you appreciate the effort to try to do it in English, but you're like, oh, Jesus, this is rough.
yeah, it
But
makes no
not with
like lyrics
their,
makes no sense.
yeah, it doesn't
But
make any sense. But theirs, I
what
thought was really good.
what we noticed is that there has to have been some kind of third party
You
that
think it's too good?
I mean, it's just they use words that I would never even consider, like I wouldn't use myself.
Hmm.
I mean, the BS part, that okay, that's BS is like, everybody understands what BS means.
Yeah.
It's like bullshit, okay, fine.
Hmm.
But when they say like POV, I'm like that I would never even say that, on ever on a daily
Yeah, I mean, it could
normal
be too,
conversation.
like, I mean, there's a lot of, like, loan words and stuff like that that are, like, in Japanese that, like, came from English, but they're not, like, popular or, like, really common English words, but then they became a common loan word.
Yeah, but POV is just it feels like someone like maybe how I forgot her name that hosts Jay Mello. That she's fluent in both English and Japanese, and
Mm-hmm.
her English is like top notch.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have like someone just helped them out. They're like, you know
Mm.
what? I'm trying to make this song in English. Can you hook it up with that translation or like a casual way of a more like a foreign way of saying this sentence?
Mm-hmm.
Because if they use the like simple English words, I'm sure they could still get the same meaning, but I feel like they went out of their way to make the song sound normal to us opposed to the
Mm.
people in Japan,
Hmm.
because there's some sentences in the English version that I just don't. It just feels like I feel like they couldn't have come up with it on their own, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't
You think
know.
it's, like, too natural?
I feel like it's too, yeah, like too American kind of.
Mm.
I feel
Well,
like
I
it's
mean, it
like,
sort of makes sense in a way because they already did the Japanese version of this song. So, like, if they're going to do an English one, they're going to be thinking of, like, the international audience. And
yeah.
it's sort of like hearing the English version, like, it was so well done that it makes me, like, wonder how much we're missing from the Japanese lyrics that they write. not being fluent. You know what I mean? Like you can read a translation and stuff, but it's not quite the same as actually
Yeah.
hearing it in real time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, well, man, if they can write an English song like this, like the Japanese ones, that the lyrics they've been writing all along must be like really amazing. Like we're
Yeah.
probably missing out on some really sweet stuff.
I mean, if they didn't get any, like if what I'm saying is completely wrong and they did not get anything, they didn't get any help, like if they just came up with the lyrics just like they are on their own, I would be extremely surprised.
It would sort of
And
make sense that they would get some help. Like, I mean, if like one of us was gonna write a song in Japanese, we would
yeah.
probably like give the lyrics to a native speaker that we know and be like, well, is this
Are these
normal?
okay?
Have I
Yeah.
screwed? Like, where have I screwed up? You know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
And
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it just almost feels like someone from the States wrote it. So it's like if they did it, on their own, it's like wow, I would be seriously surprised and proud, basically. It's like
yeah,
wow, that is amazing. If they didn't, it completely makes sense. But it's something that really um, stood out. It's like wow, these lyrics have some really weird words that I've never heard any Japanese person use, like POV. Like what? So if they use that like that, then that's great. So yeah, that's basically what really stood out for me from your song. I don't mind the English version. I prefer the Japanese version, but definitely appreciate the effort, and the lyrics are really good in English.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that
sweet.
that pretty much covers the whole album.
Everyone like it's on iTunes and it was leading the like world category in the US.
Yeah.
It was number one. So like if you haven't picked it up, definitely pick it up. At least on iTunes, if not like the actual physical thing. We can put some links in the description on where to pick up the album.
Yeah, and actually, it's only $10 in iTunes, so it's cheaper than getting it online. I mean, the physical version. So you would save some bucks there, and yeah, everybody wins. Yeah, so that's basically our thoughts on Yellow. Let us know what you think on the forum or down below, and make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with your friends and family. All right, thank you for always.